Hi, my name is Simranjit Kaur. Today, me and my group member present a case study which is Fairstone Financial Holding Insurance versus Dio Bank of Canada, Kanitz Rogers Cable Insurance. In this case study, we will discuss about intro, facts, insurance, holding, reasoning, and takeaways. First and foremost is the introduction and fact. In this case, Fairstone, the seller, and the buyer entered in a share purchase agreement. It's also called SPA on February 18, 2020, with the transaction scheduled to close on June 1, 2020, and an outside date set for August 14, 2020. On the very day the deal was made to close, Dew informed Fairstone that it would not pursue setting a material observed effect also called MAAE and convent branches related to COVID-19 pandemic with the notification due May 27, 2020. The transaction involved complex parties and investors, was valued over $1 billion. A recommendation referred point for this case will Judge Fairstone to 2020.
In this assignment, I will talk about Fairstone history. Actually, the Fairstone history used on Ontario Superior Court and the case tried to the Court of Trail heard September 2020 and sentence given on December 2, 2020. And also, the relief intended by Fairstone is a specific performance due to clause. If I talk about legal issues, did a material adverse effect to the customer under SPA, and was there any ordinary breach of the customer, and did an amortization event take place under, was it reasonably possible, or if I talk about Fairstone Holdings, judicial enforcement of specific performance was made whereby due is required processed with the transaction, and the court concluded a MAE did exist, but important exceptions to the definition of a MAE were applicable, and thus due could not evoke a MAE.
Hi, my name is Puneet. In the seventh slide, we are going to talking about the market changes, and there was the express curves definition in this slide. This is detailing the summary of a Fairstone case. I am impressed with how clearly the key takeaways are presented. It is helping us to know about how legal concepts are digitals into practical insights. And also we also know about the, have you ever found yourself in the situation where you had the analyzed complex information and present in it the concept way. Not only this, but also nextly it's talking about you have to put in a lots of work to understand the key takeaways. Are you working on a legal cases or just explaining your knowledge? And the session provides insights based on the Fairstone case or legal principle. It may include guidance and drafting legal documents, understanding obligations, and documenting reasons to specific event like the pandemics.
Hi everyone, my name is Armanpreet Singh. Here I will discuss about summary of the reasoning in Kanitz Rogers. Kanitz Rogers reasoning summary. First point is contractual amendment process. In this process, the court held that Rogers followed the agreed procedure for amending the contract by posting the changes, including and no classes action causes, on its website. Another point is notice sufficiency. Individual email or written notice was not required because customers were deemed to have accepted updates by continuing to use the service after the online processing. Thirdly, enforceability of clauses. The arbitration and no classes actions clauses were upheld are valid and binding under the contract name. Fourthly, legislative impact. Although upheld in the case later, consumer protection legislation limited the enforceability of such clauses in similar agreements. At the last, legislative impact. Legislative impact, although upheld in the case later, consumer protection legislation limited the enforceability of such clauses in similar agreements. Thank you. Thirdly, enforceability of clauses. The arbitration and no classes actions clauses were upheld are valid and binding under the contract name. Fourthly, legislative impact. Although upheld in the case later, consumer protection legislation limited the enforceability of such clauses in similar agreements. At the last, legislative impact. Legislative impact, although upheld in the case later, consumer protection legislation limited the enforceability of such clauses in similar agreements. Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Sukhdeep Singh. I'm gonna talk about Kanitz practice takeaway. There are three kind of practices. First of all, towards the providers, and another is towards the customers, and the third one is to the drafters. We're gonna talk about comparative lesson between Fairstone and Kanitz. Fairstone's Frighten's Puritanic textual analysis of economy SPA craves out. Kanitz demonstrate the enforceability of online amendment clauses in standardized customer contracts through texts. Here are some references where you can get to know about this case furthermore, and you can click those links for further reading. Thank you.